It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. We can hardly wait for the start of this one, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome, as we come to you from Commanders Field here in Landover, Maryland. Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Throwing right away is Daniels. Checks this one down to Robinson. They'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From just shy of midfield, here's second down and 3. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with third and just a yard. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. Off the play fake, Daniels. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
Got a man. It's Brown. And the Commanders are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
So first and goal now from the 7-yard line. They'll run with Robinson. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They go play action. Daniels. This is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Noah Brown from 3 yards out. And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon. But down here, I thought they were going to hand that off. Instead, a well-designed play and the pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And I wonder who came up with it. Was it a call from the bench? Did the quarterback have a good idea and suggest it? In any event, clearly an effective play call. They saw something they liked in coverage, and they targeted it for the short yardage throw.
And the perfect way to cap their opening drive. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And the kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here come the Cardinals, and it is Kyler Murray from Oklahoma who leads them out.
And when you have a guy like Kyler Murray under center, it not only opens up your playbook, it allows you to draw up even more plays because he's among the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league and a true playmaker. If flushed out of the pocket, he might even be more dangerous. The next step for him, being able to throw on rhythm and deliver from the pocket.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now the veteran workhorse. Here's James Conner. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Now Murray. And he fends him off. And that one too wide and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him trying to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Murray. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harrison. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Play fake. Murray. That's complete to Michael Wilson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Murray to air it out again. That's complete to McBride. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties. and then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
On 1st and 10 is Connor, and he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Murray going to throw. And now a fumble. The ball's out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Prater's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
.38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they'd pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd down and 9.
Now it's the backup Mariota. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
Oh, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Mariota.
He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
A 45-yard attempt.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about where they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's Murray. And his throw is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Jonathan Allen, the former 1st-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
And He's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Mariota. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 69 yards. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And able to get this out to the 25. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
To throw is Murray. Finds his running back, James Conner. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
To throw, it's Murray.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Shotgun now from Murray. Wilson's got it complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Murray.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 35.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing now is Murray.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
What will look like a march to the end zone is hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Murray now to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Murray. Screen pass to Connor. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Murray now.
Throwing quickly to Wilson.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Dorrance Armstrong.
Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6.
So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
It was a terrific first half for the veteran quarterback, Marcus Mariota. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the third quarter. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Cardinals offense and their veteran running back James Conner ready for this next possession. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. From the gun, Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. It'll be a gain of 5, and now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Murray. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Murray a give. This is Conner to about the 48-yard line.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now Murray. Out to the right here to Wilson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
3rd down and 1. They'll try and run forward with Conner. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. A give running right is Conner. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Back to throw. Murray. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. This is Connor running right. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Looking to throw. Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
James Conner. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Cardinals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
A Cardinals offense staying put. Obviously, watch out for Kyler's legs. They'll go for 2 here.
It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Holding, receiving team.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
When the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. Off the play fake, Mariota. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Out route, and it's complete to Brown.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. He'll take this to the 46.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Three quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
back now at Commanders Field.
It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. To throw, Mariota. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Garrett Williams. And the Cardinals are right back in this football game.
A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught inside the 25. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On the handoff, Connor. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Murray going to throw. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They run behind center with Connor, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll try to surge ahead with Connor. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they can pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
So here comes the veteran Matt Prater in a big spot in this ball game. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. Prater's kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And hard running is going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down.
Robinson up the middle.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
Here's Daniels.
Escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
2nd and 6 coming up. Daniels looking to throw. He's got Brown on the out route complete.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
To the air goes Daniels.
This one caught by Crowder. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
But just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here we go, 1st and goal. Robinson with another carry. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by the late touchdown. It's a 7-point lead here in the final minute of the game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Murray. This is taken in by McBride. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Murray to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Now Murray. To the sideline and incomplete.
A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Back to throw, Murray. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heat for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
Murray, one final try. This to possibly force OT.
This ball intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Commanders are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead, that home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.